Gears of War Eday is surely sparking up its share of controversy. This video is for the people who didn't get to play early access but are still curious to what has been changed or removed from the game. I'll be making separate videos explaining what I liked and what I disliked about Gears of War Eday because those are separate and loaded topics in themselves. I just want to start off by saying I love Gears of War. I've played every single game in this series and I think Horde Siege is great. I really like the direction that they are taking for this new Gears of War game, and this is in no way me bashing on the game. I genuinely want this game to succeed, and I think this is the best chance to do so and bring in new players at the same time. Now, with that being said, this video is still about everything they changed and removed from Gears of War Eday, but you are going to see the occasional visual glitch, stability issues, or what I could even call as stuttery gameplay. I don't know what exactly word to coin it as, but you'll see throughout this video. I tried to point them out as they showed up. Let's start out the list with an obvious one: no more roadie running / strafing. Your character does not awkwardly crouch run anymore like in the original Gears of War games. They have an upright sprint like they do in every other shooter game. Now, with that being said, roadie strafing is now out of the game. Also, it was a movement tech that above average players knew about. If you knew, you knew. Everybody had their different playstyle, whether you were more of a wall bouncer or you like to strafe left and right, but that unfortunately has been taken out of the game. Next on the list is no more grenade tagging. Before in Gears of War games, it didn't matter what type of grenade you had, whether it was an ink, a flash, a smoke, an incendiary, a shock, didn't matter. You could plant your grenade on any surface or even players, which as a kid to me was the coolest thing in the world. You could just imagine all the different plays you could pull off in King of the Hill or like Escalation or Conquest. Really sad to see this go. Maybe this was done to promote more of an aggressive playing style. Grenades were mainly used to clear out the point or to stall point. There was no really in between. To me, grenades only really got value in game modes like King of the Hill or Capture the Leader or stuff like that. You're not really getting many grenade kills in TDM or Execution, you know? In those game modes, people tend to play more aggressively and actually run around the map and trying to get kills. Next, I noticed that the reload times across the board are longer, especially for the Nasher shotgun. That reload time is ridiculous. I feel like the Retro Lancer also has a pretty bad reload time. Maybe I was the only one having this problem, but I really feel like I could not hit my active reload. In the other Gears of War games, it was almost instinctual where I could do it without looking at the little reload bar, but for this game I really had to stop and look and focus to hit my active. I don't know if the only one who had that problem, but I feel the timings for reloads are really bad in this game. The next couple of things are going to be related to power weapons on multiplayer maps. I noticed that there are fewer power weapon spawns on the map. This one I'm not 100% sure on. Every Gears of War game is different in terms of map size and like weapon variety. So someone let me know if this is true or not. The intervals in which you could pick up power weapons is also significantly increased. Before it was anywhere between a minute to a minute and 30 seconds. Now you're waiting 2 to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. With how quickly some TDM matches go and even how quickly some of my Conquest matches were going, 2 minutes to pick up ammo for a gut puncher or something like that is a very long time. Some weapons were also changed around to get like a new design for the game. Like the boom shot is now the heavy boom shot. It has 6 shots instead of just the one that it used to have before. The mulcher is not in the game from what I saw. It is replaced with the Troika turret. Heavy weapons also seem to be more maneuverable. Before, picking up like a mulcher or a mortar or something made you super slow. Like you had to turtle your way across the battlefield to get into a good position. But now you can run around a lot more freely with the heavy weapons. You can mount them and dismount them for pretty much anywhere, which is a nice change. This next one hurts really bad. It was the thing that made me the most heartbroken playing the beta, but now you can no longer pick up your downed enemies as meat shields. Yep, you heard me. It's gone. It was mainly used as a stall tactic also. You picked up your meat shield and you made it damn near impossible for your opponent to be able to one-shot you. To me, as a teenager who loved violence in their video games, to me that was the coolest thing in the world. Adding on the fact that you could plant a frag grenade on the meat shield and kick it into a crowd of unknowing people, that to me was absolute cinema. We peaked at that moment is all I'm saying. Next on the list, unfortunately, vaulting / mantle kicking has now been removed from the game. Before, if you and an opponent were on opposite sides of the cover, you had an option to jump over the cover, kicking them in the face essentially, stunning them, giving you a free one shot, even though not all of us hit that free shot 100% of the time anyway. If you know, you know. It happened to the best of us. Now we're back to awkwardly blind firing over cover until somebody hits the winning shot first. R.I.P. It sucks because they even doubled down on it later on by adding like a cancel mechanic to the kick. If you were quick enough, you could like reverse the mantle kick. It was really hard to do because you had like a split second to do it, but it was possible. Again, promoting that super aggressive playstyle that Gears of War has always been known for. It really is the small things that matter, and it's sad to see go, but hey, now we have verticality, so I mean, you could just step over the cover now. As gamers, we have to be open to change. Now, the next change that they made is certain weapons cannot be aimed down sights. So certain weapons like the snub pistol or the hammer burst, or even like the Marksa, certain weapons can be zoomed in while pressing the right trigger, or just flat out aimed down the sights like the hammer burst or the Marksa. Now, unless you have an attachment in Horde Siege, you will not be able to aim down sights to any degree, which takes away some of the uniqueness from the weapons, but I'll save my critiques for the next video. And the last one I have written down here is down but not out only saves you twice instead of 3 times now. For anybody who's played Gears of War in the past, once you go down, you're able to get picked up 3 times before you just flat out flopped over and had to respawn. Now you only get 2 chances to be picked up, unless you're playing Horde mode, which depending on the difficulty determines how many times you can go down before you flat out just fail the mission. It really seems like they're trying to punish you in multiplayer for dying, especially with the longer respawn times and only being able to be picked up twice. Like imagine respawning across the map after a 12-second timer. It felt like forever in casual matches, so I can't imagine how it's gonna feel in ranked matches. 12 seconds in a ranked match is gonna feel like an eternity. Another thing I noticed is that there is a severe lack of executions in the game. With the beta heavily relying on such a one-shot Nasher meta, there isn't really a chance to down somebody, let alone a chance to walk up to somebody to perform an execution. Throughout my time in the beta, I only saw a total of 3 executions, and that was the classic curb stomp, the retro Lancer execution, and the regular Lancer execution, which to me is insane because part of the appeal of Gears of War was always unlocking the executions for the weapons, weapon skins, and obviously the characters you played as in multiplayer. I really hope that gets fixed in the future because you're kind of losing a little bit of your identity at that point. And I also saw somebody say that chainsaw battles were not in the beta. I didn't have a chance to test it out because like I said, one-shot Nasher meta, but that's also literally insane because what are we doing here? There are certain changes that I'm trying to look at differently and be positive about, but this is one that I really can't get behind. It's kind of like taking the crime out of GTA. You just kind of don't do that. Or like the Gunner skins in Marvel Rivals, you don't take that away from us. In fact, you give us more. That being said, all assault rifles feel weak across the board unless it's the retro Lancer. You are better off dropping your Lancer at the beginning of a match and just rocking with your pistol and Nasher for the rest of the game and you will be perfectly fine. Weapon balancing feels okay. Besides that, there's only like 5 guns you could use and pick up in the beta. And I know I already mentioned it a couple times in this video, but the one-shot Nasher meta is kind of boring to me. The gun loses a little bit of its flexibility to me when you have to get so close to somebody that they're literally eating the barrel of your gun. It makes things like pop shotting your Nasher literally non-existent. There's not a single reason to pop shot your Nasher in this game. It's honestly just censor your shot and be within one-shot range. Finally, we just have to fix all the stuttering and visual glitches you guys probably saw throughout this video. Now that's everything I have written down here. I will be making a separate video discussing what I liked and what I disliked about the Gears of War Eday beta and my experience. Not sure if I'm going to keep those videos together or make 2 separate ones, one being what I liked and one being what I didn't like. Not sure yet, we'll see. I just want to say again that I genuinely have high hopes for this game, and in my opinion, this is the best that Gears of War has looked in a very long time. I didn't play much of Gears of War 5 to have the same feelings of nostalgia that most of the veterans have. I mostly played Gears 3 and Gears 4, so that's where my loyalty lies. With that being said, I think Gears of War Eday has something to keep all sides of the Gears of War community excited. Whether you're a super veteran who likes the slower, methodical gameplay of Gears 2 and Gears 3, or you're a newer player who enjoys the spammy enemy hyper movement that Gears 4 and Gears 5 introduced. Regardless, guys, it's Gears of War. Let's make the best of it. This community actually means something to me. It's something I've played for my entire life at this point, so I just want to see it be great again. Thank you so much for watching the video, everybody. My name has been Astro. I mainly stream and talk about anime. Make sure you check the comments and to follow all my socials. Speaking of the comment section, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if I'm full of shit or not, and what you guys are most excited for in the upcoming weeks for Gears of War and for the release of Gears of War. I'm going to let the rest of this Horde Siege gameplay play out, and I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. GG's.
Hightail it to the LZ. Ground forces, this is KR-80. I'm on approach. Clear the extraction point. Hey! We don't have all day! Get your asses in here! Control. We're heading back to base. Not everyone made it. Loud and clear, 8-0. The odds were against you, but you still pulled through.
Watch out.